So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again, and tonight's is going to be a very long night for Henry. After this, he's got to do a one-chip challenge in an Arsenal shirt. Unlucky. He's trying to swerve it as well, making out he's stuck at work at the minute. But it is what it is. He will make these stupid bets. How ironic that his name is two Arsenal goal-scoring legends for our club, Henry and Wright. And now he's going to be sat in an Arsenal shirt, eating the spiciest crisp in the world. Anyway, make sure you all tune in for that show straight after. Well, it should be straight after this one, but he's going to keep me updated. Big up to everybody who's joined. 52 likes is a shambles. There's 200 in here already. We got a nice resounding victory. Resounding in the end. It was resounding. It was pretty much resounding. Professional, I think we all called it. And we move on to this dead, boring international break. Jez, happy Monday, mate. How are you, buddy?
I'm all good.
Make sure you sub to JEZ'S channel as well. I'll get the link right now in the description because I forgot to do it.
Yeah, well, good, man. I was on home turf yesterday at a 64th wedding, 64th birthday party. That was a good day out. Nightmare getting home on the trains, though. Bloody nightmare. Took me just over 2.5 hours. Bloody from Victoria. Yeah, there's rail works and all that bullshit. But yeah, it's a good day out though. Really, really nice. But the weather was crap. Yeah, good performance at the weekend. You know, it wasn't stylish, but it was as I called it. I think I called it commanding. I think was the word, or professional. I can't remember now. But yeah, it was good goals. Can't deny that. Zinchenko, I thought, not Zinchenko. Zinchenko's goal I thought was class.
Yeah.
How to score a goal like that. And Trossard, very brave, could have really hurt himself there. So, yeah, it was good display, man. Good display.
Yeah, 3 points fully wrapped up right on top of international break, especially when we see the game yesterday. We're going to talk about that game before we talk about Arsenal, because that game was mad. But Kenny, happy Monday, mate. Your Instagram link is in the description with JEZ'S YouTube channel link now as well. So make sure you go and follow Kenny Ken1972 on Insta and Arsenal History and more on YouTube. How's your Monday, Kenny? You was at the game.
My Monday's been quiet because yesterday, as you said, it was like all guns blazing. We got great entertainment from the neutrals. West Ham and Nottingham Forest was a very good game of football. You know, both teams did their best to win it. West Ham came out on top. Poor defended by Forest. The Chelsea Man City game. Oh my God. Are Chelsea the great entertainers? We'll find out. We'll discuss that later. But I'm so glad that there's a bit of a break. You know, I've been going so many matches. I think out of all the matches we've had in October, I've probably only missed one. A couple. One was in Europe, and I think one was away in Newcastle. But I've been here and there watching our great club. So it's nice to have a break. International matches. I'm sorry, I can't promote Macedonia and Malta to you, so I do.
You love international football, Kenny, but you're not interested in that one, though.
Yeah. The one thing I would do is if anyone's got any interest next week, it will be the Cricket World Cup final. There's 2 semi-finals: India versus New Zealand, and Australia plays South Africa in the cricket. So if anyone's interested in one-day cricket, please get yourself over to you. There's nothing happening in boxing, and there's certainly nothing happening with the football.
There's a bit of snooker on, Kenny. The champion of champions is on right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Snooker was brilliant in the 80s when you had Alex Higgins, Steve Davis, Jimmy White, Kirk Stevens, Bill Wobenick, Ray Reardon. You know, all those kind of players, and Dennis Taylor. All these characters, but now they're all robots. And Ronnie O'Sullivan only wins when he tries. So snooker's boring now.
Yeah, Ronnie O'Sullivan just can't be bothered, can he? It's too easy to him, mate. It's what it is. Big up to everybody in here, man. We are going to start off with the Chelsea game. Make sure you are smashing these likes up. 85 likes, people. Come on, there's 250 people in here. And I'm just going to explain to this fella right now. Big up Different Gear TV. How do you cook rice without it sticking to the pan? Bro, it is impossible. It will always stick to the pan. But, however, you can cook rice without it being mushy and sloshy if you know what you're doing. Right. Or just buy, I cooked it up yesterday.
All right, okay.
Yeah, but buy a rice cooker, mate. That's probably the best suggestion. But no, honestly, Yeah, make sure when you have to wash the rice first, you're cooking the gunner. Maybe I should do a cooking channel. Wash the rice first, get all that crap off of it, and then when you've washed it all off, fill it up with water. Put your hand in it like a fist. If it comes up just to about here, you know you've put enough water in. Stick it on boil on the highest setting. Yeah, as soon as it starts boiling, turn it down to the lowest setting and just leave it. Yeah, put a bit of olive oil in there, tiny little smidge of butter in there. Mix it all up, then just leave it. Job done.
Oh,
That's it. Happy days. Happy days.
Why you bought that right things.
He's trying to wind me up.
No, is Dad there? Is Dad there?
He rocked up on Saturday unexpected. I didn't know he was coming. So yeah, just as Tottenham were conceding their second goal. He had a hand in the goal. Big up. But yeah, big up to everyone in here, man. In fact, let's start with the Tottenham game. Let's start with the Tottenham. I know it's an Arsenal podcast, but twice they've had an opportunity, Jez, to go back to the top of the league. And both times they have absolutely folded. Yeah, the game was shocking. Right, they started off yet again really well. They got on a really quick goal, and then after that, it was just boring. The whole game was it's like a table tennis game. Backwards, nobody could keep the ball. No real quality. Nobody can cross a ball. They're missing Maddison. There's no creativity in their team. And then Sarabia's goal, the equaliser. Oh my days, what a finish. What a first touch as well. And you thought, okay, fair enough. Yeah, they've dropped 2 points. That'll do. We'll take that. And then in the last kick of the game, they go and lose it. Twice they've had an opportunity to go top. And when the pressure is on, we all know they fold, Jez.
Well, long may it continue. I have to say, I can't say I'm unhappy about it, to be fair. Yeah, it was a pretty shit display, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, but I expected this. They were giving, running their gums, all the old Spurs fans, giving it the large. And yeah, I was on a show the other night, and it was coming on me from these Tottenham people in a nice way. I'd have said, you'll fall apart. You always do. And I was proved right. So maybe I should have given them fellas that one chick challenge game. That would have been funny. But yeah, they are crap. Without, as you say, without Maddison, man, they're just nothing. And yeah, long may it continue. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, very, very, very strange. Very strange from them. And listen, the thing is, Andrew's done all right since he's got to Tottenham. Yeah, but again, like I've said, Kenny, so just like with Jez, 2 opportunities to go top, to go back to the top of the table, to put a pressure on us. Yeah, at the start of the season, put the pressure back on City, pressure back on Liverpool, and both times against Chelsea, and now against Wolves. And listen, Wolves were absolutely toothless until stoppage time.
Yeah. Well, Lee, the thing about Spurs, and I've spoken to Spurs fans about this as well, they've only got themselves to blame. The fact is that when you're a big team and you're trying to be a big team, when you go into games, big games, you go in with a cool head. The players got too emotional, they're too wound up for the Chelsea game. And because of the effects of the Chelsea game, it's had a domino effect on Wolves in terms of them losing players to, not so much losing to an injury, but getting those 2 sending offs, Udogie and Mimero. They played to the crowd, and I say this respectfully, BT Sport on Saturday, Sky Sports on last Monday, had a coronation planned for Big Ange. It was a case of they weren't interested in O'Neill on Saturday. They weren't interested in Pochettino, the Poch on Monday. It was a case of they were prepared for a Spurs win, and then they're going to interview Big Ange. Then the crowd played to that, and the players got well wound up for Chelsea. It's like, rather than just winning the game and playing proper football, all they cared about was, come on, we're the big Tottenham, we're the big I am, we're going to show Chelsea and put them in their place, because Chelsea always come and take liberties with us. And look what happened. You were smashing to pieces in the first 20 minutes. Then Chelsea came back to the game, and then you go and get 2 players sent off. It's a self-inflicted wound. And then what happens? All the things that you've said and you alluded to, JEZ'S, about their lack of depth, which we do have. You go from Mimero and Van der Ven to Davies and Dyer, a player they've been trying to get rid of. And guess common denominator, he was at fault for both the 2 goals. Another 2 things that, so maybe in January, that's what Levy needs to do. He needs to buy better players so he can get depth and give Ange what he wants. But one thing about Ange, we all like Ange. The only problem with Ange, he manages Tottenham. But the problem with Ange is that his pride came before a fall. If you're 1-0 up in the 90th minute against Wolves, you just sit it out. Doesn't matter. You don't have to play Ange ball when you're 1-0 up in the 90th minute. You just sit it out, play boring, go home, get your usual sweets, and then you're still top of the table. Chelsea, if you're going to play that way, you have to do it with 11 or 10 men. You can't do that with 9 men. You can't play a high line and try and attack. Doesn't matter what your fans want. Sometimes, Ange had to be Conte and Mourinho. If Ange was Conte and Mourinho in those 2 games, they'll probably come out with about 4 points. And they'll probably be clear, like I said, 2 points clear now. But because he wanted to be Big Ange, that's what happened. But one thing I've got to say, and it's Jamie O'Hara. Jamie O'Hara is nothing but a worm-like infested little prick. And the reason I'm going to call him a little prick, a worm-like infested little prick, is because he was happy to go on Australian TV and be interviewed by Project 10, praising Ange to the hill. Oh, Ange, look at us, we're top. Oh, we love Ange. 2 losses, and that infested little prick is slagging Ange off. Spurs fans, that's your boy, mate. And remember, this is Jamie O'Hara, born in Kent, ex-Arsenal junior, never a Spurs legend, but he represents you. I mean, we've got some pork chops representing Arsenal, but he takes the biscuit, mate. That is one pork chop to just stay in a freezer. He is not going on a barbie. Spurs fans, if that's the best you've got, and you're going to have that Pratt represent you, you're welcome to him.
Yeah, well said, Kenny. Well said. And do you know what was funny? We got rid of him. And the summer we got rid of him from our academy and he went to Spurs, we signed Cesc Fabregas. Hey, we'll give him a pat on the back for that one. Right, big up to everybody in here. Let me rifle through these super chats real quick as well. Big up to everyone putting their monthly membership comments in as well, their anniversary of the membership. Big up to Chai Tanner as well. Big up, lads. Thanks for the donation, buddy. I reckon Ty versus Burnley in the second half will determine if we win the league or not. Need to stay close to the top and keep Saliba, Rice and Jesus fit. Jesus can't stay fit, unfortunately. He's had, 2 surgeries on his knee since he's been here, which is unfortunate. But we definitely need to stay within touching distance and get to January and hope this club spends some money. That's what we need to do. Thank you, man. Big up Mr. Tie Box as well. Always love, bro. Thanks for the donation, mate. Good evening, Lee, my friend. What a great weekend. Couldn't have gone much better. Spurs have flopped. City not what they were. And Henry Laguna lost his bet. He's still... Mate, he's got to do it in an Arsenal shirt. This is hilarious. It's hilarious. But I hope you're good, mate. I hope your family's well. And, the only thing that would have made it a better weekend for us was Liverpool losing. And that game was dead, man. I watched that game. It was so dead. It was unbelievable. But it is what it is. Thank you, man. And big up Jonathan for your donation as well. Spurs and their fans are the Americans of football. Most of them just want other top 6 teams to tell them how big they are.
Yeah.
Mate, they get super salty when people start dismissing them as a small club and that. All right. The reason clubs are rated as big clubs is based on trophies won. And they ain't won any for a very long time. It's what it is, isn't it? Let's move on to 2 clubs that have won a lot of trophies over the last 20 years, Jez. That was a thriller, mate. Absolute thriller at Stamford Bridge. And when that went 1-0 up, I thought, right, that's it. Chelsea are folding. No, they're not. And then when Rodri got the goal right at the end, I thought, right, well, that's it then. That's it. They're done. No, Cole Palmer scores the penalty. That game had a bit of everything, man. Like some shoddy football, lackadaisical defending, loads of goals. And that was a proper Super Sunday, wasn't it, mate?
Well, in fairness, I didn't see a lot of it, so I can't really comment. I say I was at this party in a pub. It was on, but I'm not being funny. They had a bloody awful, tiddly, shitty little screen. And with the amount of people that were in there, it was very difficult to see what was I did see the goals. I didn't see a lot of the actual game, but so I'm not really qualified to comment. But from what I did see, the goals, it looked like a quality game. I'm not. Was Haaland's? Was it a penalty on Haaland?
I don't think that's a penalty.
I-
He grabbed him. Cucurella was grabbing him, facing him with his back to goal, and then Haaland just spun and he literally just touched him on the stomach and he went flying. Like,
yeah, it looked like it to me. I saw it. I didn't see it as it happened. I saw the replays and I thought, I'm not sure that's really a penalty, but
size of Haaland and he's falling down like that. He should be embarrassed.
He's a big bloke, isn't he? I mean, at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was a great game for the neutral. I wish I had seen it all, but unfortunately, I wasn't in that position to be able to do that. If this pub had a decent bloody screen, seriously, it was about as big as my bloody iMac here, you know, which is 27 inch. You know, and I'm like, was this all you got? And it was a shitty pub anyway. So, but then, yeah,
there you go. They just don't think much to that pub.
No, I don't actually. Never been there before. It's crap.
You won't be going back again either, by the sounds of it, mate.
Not really. Beer was rubbish. Red wine was crap. Food was crap. And but it was fun to meet up with some old friends. That's the only.
Yeah, the company was good. The rest of it was rubbish.
Yep.
There you go. Well, Kenny, you did watch the game, and you're a student of the game. What did you make of that, mate?
Well, I'll tell you one thing: the defending was shocking on both sides. Jamie Carragher, another Jamie. Bloody hell! How comes all the Jamies pundits are all annoying? You got Carragher annoying, Redknapp absolutely annoying, and O'Hara just a pork chop. But, you know, going back to football, Jamie Carragher said that's why the Premiership's the best in the world. No, that's why the Premiership is the most exciting in the world, but it ain't the best because that was an advertisement for poor defending. But I would say one thing, though, about the game itself. Chelsea are probably the great entertainers, which is, you know, the fact they haven't got a goal scorer, but, you know, they smashed us to pieces and somehow we could have nicked it 3-2. And then Man City, they went toe-to-toe with Man City. They actually played well in what I thought was a losing cause, but you have to, you know, shake the hand of quite a few players because I've been slagging off Conor Gallagher, and I just want to apologise for him because you know what, he looks worth his place. I said tongue in cheek that 10 players had to be injured for him to play, and bloody hell, he was brilliant against us. He was brilliant yesterday, but you got to shake Sterling's hand. Sterling gets a lot of criticism. I don't know why he gets criticism. I think I know why he gets criticism because sometimes he doesn't look polished. He looks like, you know, the sort of players that we're playing in, you know, in the streets, and isn't it? And all where you know, or MK where you're from, Lee, where street footballers, but they're not polished. And sometimes when Sterling's not polished, you look at the chances, you think, bloody hell, Sterling, you got to be more, you have more composure. But yesterday, I mean, come on, how many times did he nutmeg Kyle Walker or outpace him? He was
the amount of nutmegs in that game. Rodri got nutmegged 3 times in that game.
I know. Yeah, he was on fire. I thought Cole Palmer was brilliant, but the way they were saying that he's Chelsea's main man, slowed down. I thought Gallagher.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying he's better than Saka. This and come on, man, he's had a couple of games.
It's a quite big, but that's Jamie. That's a Jamie, isn't it? I think anytime I hear a Jamie, I'm just gonna have to, make assumptions about them when I hear the name Jamie because all the 3 Jamies we know in British football a bit, yeah, all right. But, you know, in terms of like the game itself, City thought all they had to do was just turn up and win. They thought they would just smash Chelsea, especially when they kept some goals up, you know, when they went 1-0 up and then they went 3-2 up or 4-3 up and they left so many gaps. I mean, that was a game that they should have closed out. They should have closed that game out at 3-2, but they didn't. They thought, right, Chelsea on their knees, they got no leaders. Let's go and see if we can win 4 or 5. And Chelsea got to shake their hands, mate. What the Poch did against Arsenal, he didn't do against Man City. Against Arsenal, he took off all his attacking players, so he thought the game was won. But this time, it just shows when you keep on your best players towards the end, you will get chances, and these top players will create them and will take them. Just shows. Can you just imagine if he kept Palmer, Modric, Sterling on against us, even if you know Sanchez didn't give that goal away, I think they would have won comfortably. But he let us back in the game with his substitution. But yesterday, I have to say, Chelsea will excite us, but they won't get to top 4 because you can't concede 2 against us when you're playing well and 4 against Man City. That's, you know, you won't win FA Cups or get in the top 4 without any clean sheets. And I don't see a clean sheet in Chelsea. They'll have to score 4 or 5 just to win a game by the looks of yesterday. So, no top 4 for them. I still think the top 4 is going to be the teams that are competing for it now. I think Newcastle are going to be short as well because they've got too many injuries and the surprise factor's not there. Man United shockingly is 6th and 7 points off Man City, and they've been, how many games they lost this season? And you say the Premiership's a great league. Really? Man United can still get in the top 4 after playing like that. And Jamie Carragher
is 7 points off of Man City.
7 points off Man City. And how many points have they on 4th place? 4?
Let's have a look. Premier League standings.
Aston Villa points Aston Villa got?
They're 5 points off of Spurs, who are 4th.
So they're 5 points off Spurs, and they've been playing like that, and Spurs have been playing out of skin. And Jamie Carragher says
that was crazy though, Kenny. They haven't drawn a game this season, and draws are the ones that moves you up.
Yeah, but even so, Jamie Carragher says the Premiership's the best in the league when a club like that playing the garbage that they've been serving up from
Man U have lost 5 games out of 12.
It's Wolves game. From the Wolves game where they should have dropped points, they've been serving up garbage after garbage, and they still can get top 4. Jamie Carragher, sit down, have a glass of milk, and get your wife to get like I said, a warm towel and just cool you down a bit, mate. Just calm you, get smart to cool you down because you're talking crap when you say the Premiership is the best in the world. When you've got teams like Man United in 6 who can still get top 4. Jamie, shut up.
Facts. Yeah, the draws are what kills teams. That's what killed Newcastle last season. Too many draws. Yeah, if they'd turned some of them draws into wins, they would have been in a title race. Like Man United, they've lost 5 games out of 12. They've conceded more goals than they've scored, and they're literally 5 points off of all singing, all dancing, Ange ball. Right? It's crazy, isn't it? This ain't the best league in the world. It's the most entertaining. Yeah, but it ain't the best. Yeah, but then people say that what makes something better than something else? It's all subjective, isn't it? I sat and watched Atleti last night. Atletico Madrid last night, Real Madrid the night before. Absolutely balling, mate. Yeah, and it's like, that's good football. People can cross a ball in that league. This league, there's no technically gifted ballers, really. There's a handful. But when I watch these other leagues, it's just like, you can keep the ball. Villarreal were having a right go at Atleti in that first half and probably deserved to be winning 1-0 at half-time. But Witsel equalised at half-time, right at half-time. And Atleti got out of jail first half, second half, they wiped the floor with them. Yeah, but that was good football. I enjoyed watching that game. Yeah, the Real Madrid-Valencia game ended 5-1. I enjoyed watching that game. I watched Liverpool against Brentford, and that game was crap. I can't lie. There was nothing going on in that game, and I was doing a watch-along for it on the other channel. Sub to the other channel, people. Lee Reacts. I was sat there. I was going, this is crap. Why can't nobody keep the ball? Yeah, and it was like, I was sitting there going, this is a Super Sunday game beamed all around the world. Yeah, and they can't keep the ball for more than 3 passes each. Like, ridiculous. Yeah, Real Sociedad are good to watch as well. Very good to watch. Girona are very good to watch. Yeah, a lot of them teams are very good to watch. But just in terms of wrapping up this Chelsea segment, I thought Chelsea should have won, if I'm being honest. I don't think that was a penalty at the beginning. Extremely soft. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I thought he'd given a goal kick. Yeah, and then the next thing is like pointing to the spot, but Anthony Taylor, Arsenal's ref, yeah, he was trying everything in his power to stop Chelsea winning. But yeah, no, you got to credit Chelsea and say fair play, because most teams would have folded. Yeah, most teams have folded, and that's the first time in Pep's managerial career a game has ended 4-4. That shows you how good he is as a manager, by the way. Not only that, that's the first time I think they've conceded more than 1 goal. Sorry, I'm lying. It's the first time they've conceded more than 1 goal in a game for God knows how long. I don't know how long, but this whole calendar year, definitely. And that's only the second time, I think, since January, or third time now. Only 3 times since January that they've conceded more than 1 goal in a game. Like, that is actually unreal. So when people are saying, "Oh, Man City are not as good as they used to be," well, they're still top of the league. Yeah, and they've not been great. They ain't got Kevin De Bruyne, and we know Kevin De Bruyne, when he's fit and well, and they ain't had him since the first day of the season. We know when Kevin De Bruyne's in that team, he is a mad problem, because that guy can score goals. He turns up a lot of the times in some of the bigger games. He can create for fun. Yeah, and they're currently sat top of the league, conceding, by the way. And I did the show with Luiz. Big up LB. Make sure you check out his channel. They've conceded 1 goal less than at this stage last season, and they've conceded 4 yesterday. So, yeah, don't rule out City. We all know that we're all chasing City, and everyone's got to beat City. Yeah, Chelsea, cool, well done, fantastic. That might give them a kickstart now. They've beaten Spurs. They've drawn with City. They've actually done very well in the big games. Yeah, they drew with us. They drew with beat Spurs. They drew with Liverpool opening day of the season, and now they've got a draw against City. So bigger games, I don't think, are an issue for Chelsea. I think it's when you come up against the Brentfords of this world that they have to worry, because they take their foot off the gas, and they don't really. It's like a walk in the park for them, isn't it? They think they're better, whereas in them games you can't do that. But yeah, Cole Palmer. Listen, I just want to say one more thing before we move on to Arsenal. Yeah, that Cole Palmer. He's actually impressed me, because I never really see a great deal of him, as none of us did really, because he was coming on as a sub here, starting Carling Cup games there, left, right, and centre, or Carabao Cup games. And
he scored in the Community Shield league.
Great finish. But we haven't really seen a consistent run of Cole Palmer, playing for. But now we're seeing Cole Palmer playing. He looks a very good footballer. But this love fest, mate. Oh my days! Like, listen, I know you. Penalties count. People go, "Oh, but it's non-penalty." Shut up. A penalty is a penalty, and if you score it, well done. You should score it. It's a free hit from 12 yards, right? So they do count, and you should score them. But how many penalties do we see missed? See loads missed. So listen, he's scored 3 penalties out of his 4 goals, I think. Well done to him. You still got to score him, and it shows he's got a big set of cojones to stand up and take penalties off of Raheem Sterling and say, "No, I'm having that." Yeah, in a pressure situation where he's just bowled into a football club, leaving the best club in England to go and play for Chelsea. Fair play to him. Pressure on, for that penalty at the end, and he scored. Fair play to him. But to start shoehorning him into conversations, no. Give him the season. Give him next season, and we'll see where he's at in it. Yeah, we'll see where he's at. Yeah, but I'm very impressed by what he's done. I can't lie. So far. Yeah, like spot on. Yeah, it weren't a penalty. But anyway, that dead manager who plays negative football, by the way, is second top goal scorer in the league with a game in hand, and he's only 2 off of the first top goal scoring team. Champions League top goal scorers as well, lately, but apparently it's negative football. Anyway, it's 4 pens, is it? Oh, he ain't scored an open play goal. Oh no, oh dear. Anyway, big up to everyone, man. Listen, let's get on to the Arsenal game. Jez, we see the lineup. We see Trossard in the team. We see Ben White not making it. Does anyone know what was wrong with him? I still ain't found out. I still ain't checked. I don't know what happened there. Maybe leave it in the chat if you know. Maybe he chipped a toenail. I don't know. But yeah, we knew that we was going to go up against a team that are devoid of any ideas really, and they're not going to come and try and play football. They're just going to come and try and stifle us and try and make it hard for us. And to be fair, until Trossard scored right on half time, they were doing that, weren't they? It weren't like we were peppering their keeper with shot after shot after shot. And it weren't great to watch first half. But then second half, and fair play to Trossard, because it looked like he nearly broke his forearm or his wrist or something. But he came back out second half. He was like a man possessed. He can cross a ball. Yeah, he can actually cross a ball, putting him right underneath that goalkeeper, underneath the crossbar on corners. Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, go and learn how to cross a ball off of this guy. Real talk. I love you both, but go and learn how to cross a ball off of him. We then get the second one off of his corner, Saliba nodding it in. And then Zinchenko, I've said his name, 35. Sorry, I have to take my medicine when I say his name. Number 35, with a Di Canio-esque volley. What a finish. Like, what a goal. The only downside, 2 downsides for me. We didn't keep a clean sheet. And number 29. Other than that, I thought the rest of them were pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I think it reflected in our player ratings we did the other night. You and Matty and I. Yeah, I mean, it. The second half was far better than the first. Trossard, yeah, he can actually take a corner, and I actually watched the game back, and I noticed one thing. I mean, this may make no difference at all to taking a corner, right? When Martinelli, Saka take a corner, they're so square on the thing. With Trossard, he comes like a sort of like a rugby penalty taker type player. He's sort of like a Johnny Wilkinson type thingy bob, and he sort of whips it like that. So he gets a nice curl on it, and it comes down at a total different angle. But yeah, I thought Trossard was brilliant, mate. Yeah, he was very brave in that situation. He could have seriously dislocated his shoulder, elbow, broke his wrist. I mean, when he was holding his arm, right, like that, you know, and the physios are on, yeah, I thought, shit, that's some bruise. It's actually a tattoo, isn't it? I was like, oh, Christ, that don't look good. But yeah, I mean, it was yeah, second half we were far more in command, and we played some decent football. Let's talk about number 29. That guy might as well be a bus because he is absolutely bloody useless. You know, I said it at the start of the season. I was an advocate. I said, I'm sure there's a player in here, right? Well, it shows what I know because thinking back on that statement, I then was on a show weeks ago and somebody said to me, Jez, how many players has Arteta brought on and coached and improved? I had to sit there and think, none. So how is he going to improve number 29? Well, he's not, is he? Let's be fair. I mean, there was one point in that game, the second half, right? First half, I beg your pardon. I can't remember. Was it? I think it might have been. It might be Martinelli. Was running round. He's coming down into onto the left post. Where is 29 going? He's not going to the far stick. He's going to the nearest post. I know. I'm sorry. If you're a professional footballer of any level, you must have if you've got a footballing brain, you know you don't do that. You go for if the goalkeeper's coming to his near post where Martinelli's coming from, right, he's going to try and close that angle down, right? So the chance that you want is the far stick. Yeah, I mean, he might get a rebound off the goalkeeper defender and it's a tap-in. I just, no, that says to me, mate, you've got no footballing brain. None at all, whatsoever. And Kenny, may I just say thank you to you for your very great advice you gave me the other week, how to get to Finsbury Park.
Is it?
I did it yesterday. I can change at either Three Bridges or East Croydon, and I can catch a train up to Bedford, and it stops at Finsbury Park. So that cuts out all the tube nonsense for me. And thanks for that, man.
Am I right in saying, sorry, before you go, Kenny, because I need to go pee. Am I right in saying that the number 29 bus goes through Finsbury Park?
Yeah, bus no, it's been going for years.
Just called 29 a bus. He might as well be a bus. Yeah, maybe he's doing the route.
Well, I don't know. The bus 29 is still going strong. Goes from Trafalgar Square all the way to Wood Green. You know, it won't let you down. It doesn't let you down. It's always on time. You know, and I don't know. As for Kai, we got to start with Kai because this is a great opportunity. You know, yesterday was an excellent opportunity for Kai Havertz to play. You know, get space. And one thing I would notice because I mentioned it in my you know, like my little my mini fan cam for my Instagram. He looked really angry when he got taken off. I could tell you that he was fuming. He weren't an happy bunny, man, because I think in his mind he felt that he probably was, you know, he was grown into the game. He said he pressed a bit, got into good positions, and then what's happened is that I think because the tempo of the game wasn't as quick as Mikel likes, he brought on the pork chop, which is Fabio Vieira. To quicken up the pace. We'll get to Vieira at the end of this, but I think whenever you watch Arsenal play, you've got to look at Kai Havertz because we bought him for £65 million. We know what he's capable of because he scored the winner in the Champions League final. But that's our only reference point to him having a good game, because we can't reference anything that we were impressed with when he was at Chelsea. And this season, it's like Kai's making his debut. I mean, the thing you mentioned was so poignant in the second half when Martinelli got behind the back foot, got behind the defence, put the cross in. You said, Kai, come on, hit the box, hit the box, hit the box, hit the box, make that run. I was saying that all game for the 57 minutes that he was on. I was screaming at him that whenever Trossard, dropped into midfield, that's an invitation for Kai to do Frank Lampard and get into the box. There were times when Arsenal put crosses in. I'm thinking, come on, Kai, they're trying to help you out here. Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard were doing you a favour. They're basically telling you where to run by putting these quick crosses in. Trossard dropping deep. It was an invitation for the number 10, because number 10s. The reason why we utilise about number 10s is because number 10s go into areas where they can't be picked up, they can't be marked. And if you try following them, you leave spaces for the number 9 or the wingers, and it kills defences. That's why you have the number 10, and that's even though people said the number 10 has been redundant and we now have a number 8, but that's what Kai Havertz need to do. I mean, it's basically taking a donkey to the well, and he won't drink. It wasn't embarrassing, it was frustrating, because I don't know what his teammates could do for him. I don't know what his manager could do for him. I'm so resigned to the fact that I'm never going to see Kai Havertz play well. Never going to see him get 8 out of 10, because if you're in a situation where your teammates are basically trying to help you out of there, giving you opportunities to make these runs, and then when you do get in this position, you don't want to shoot for yourself. You want to lay it off. Lay it off. You're a £65 million player who's meant to be a goal threat, who hasn't scored this season, and you're laying it off. Why? I know Arteta football is all about, not having shots from 25 yards, having quick passes, and opening teams up with quick passing and quick tempo. I get it. But sometimes, right, when you're in a position from 25 yards out, shoot the bloody ball. Or when you're in a situation where, your teammates are trying to do a 1-2, move. Don't stand still. He's staying still. He's back to goal. When his teammates are looking for him to go into the box. That's what frustrates me.
It's what he does off the ball, though, Kenny. If you can't see what he does off the ball, you need to get a deeper understanding of the game. We've been told.
That's the thing. The thing is, his teammates are trying to get him into the game.
They're trying so hard to get him a goal. Crazy, man.
You see what they were doing for him. What Martinelli and Saka were trying to do for him. What Trossard was doing for him, and he still can't take the hint. No wonder he got taken off. And then it's no good getting up with Arteta. If you can't take an open goal of that, God for you. But going back to Trossard was fantastic, best performance. If Trossard plays like that, there's no need for Eddie Nketiah to get a game start for us when Jesus is out. We've got a ready-made replacement of Jesus and Trossard, not Eddie. In terms of Zinchenko, that was his game against teams like Burnley, Sheffield United at home. I say it respectfully, you don't really need Tommy Asu at left back, because you're always going to have the ball. You're always going to be on the front.
He's been really good for us when he's played this season, Tommy Asu, isn't he?
He has.
I think he needed to be a little bit stronger with that goal at the weekend. Like, you've got to stand your feet a bit better. But other than that, if the season ended now and I was to rate his season, I'd give him a 7, 8 out of 10, 7 or 8.
Yeah, of course you definitely do. But the thing with Tommy Asu is that at the moment he's that horses for courses player that every club kind of needs, and that
like a James Milner.
I say it respectfully. You're not going to always need him against teams who are going to sit on their goal line or try and hit you in a break. You need Zinchenko more than him if you're going to be in attack. In terms of Fabio Vieira, what a prat! And in front of the referee as well. What a prat!
I can't believe he did it, mate.
That was a standing off.
Stand there for 3 minutes arguing. Just get off, mate. Come on.
Yeah, just get off the pitch, mate. It was a high tackle with studs. If that was done to you, you'd be rolling the floor, crying your ass out. Just get off the field.
We'd be putting out letters, mate, and statements and that. Like, top
yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
Go on.
But you know what it is that 3 points is 3 points, and it's going to be very exciting after the international break because we've got some really good, tasty games. Brentford away is not going to be easy. They're going to be completely up for it, and they're going to be a lot better than in the League Cup, and we're going to have a less stronger team. Again, this is where you can't play Zinchenko against Brentford. Sorry, mate. You're great against Burnley, but I'm not playing you against Brentford because Brentford will be on the front foot, and I'll be happy if Tommy Asu was at left back and White was at right back, and in midfield, I think Brentford are going to be a lot better in midfield than Burnley are, and Sevilla were embarrassing. They're a joke. I'm embarrassed because I bigged Sevilla up, and they served that crap. So, you never listen to me again when I talk about Spanish football.
Spanish football is where it's at, mate. Spanish football is where it's at. Barcelona stinking their way to another win. Yeah, absolutely awful. There it is. Anyway, I think you summed it up perfectly between you. The thing is, Kai Havertz, the manager. I've said his name. 29. The manager said in a press conference, that we have to give him 50 games. Yeah, well, where was that attitude for Pepe? Where was that attitude for Kieran Tierney? Where was that attitude for other players? Because, we said this at the weekend, didn't we, Jez? Maybe he's given him so many games so he can finally say, like he did with Eddie last season at some point, well, I've given you 10, 12, 15, 18 games in a row. Sit down, mate. Yeah, and the fact that we're still up there is not because Kai Havertz... I've done it again. It's not because he's been playing, because he's been awful. The only goal that guy has scored has been a penalty that was gifted to him, a pity penalty. Yeah, and it's you said it, Kenny, when you did your fan cam. The whole stadium is willing him the roof. Well, there ain't a roof, but the roof would come off if there is one. If he scores, it'll be like, yes, come on. Now get on it. Now go for it. Yeah, and then maybe the pressure will come off. But for me, he's 24 years old. He's been in the Premier League for 4 seasons. He looks like a 34-year-old washed footballer that's just there for the payday. And it's when you look at him, okay, body language, we see it with Ozil, we've seen it with Berbatov and other players along the way, yeah. But Mesut Ozil could turn it on just like that whenever he wanted. Yeah, he had that ability. Yeah, and yes, big away games, we've all seen them, we've all watched them and that. He disappeared and shrinks. But in other games, like Ludogorets, I know it's not the greatest team in the world, he has that ability in him. So it's that's why we used to get frustrated with him, because it's we want to see you do that every week, mate. Yeah, because we know you can. We see him at Madrid for years. Yeah, Berber, we know that guy was quality. Yeah, and this guy, it's I don't see anything. Honestly, I do not see a single thing he is good at, apart from hiding behind the referee so he can't get the ball. Yeah, and the way people keep telling me, watch what he does off the ball. It's what he does off the ball. He's the unsung hero of the team. So, Kenny, you did it when you went to Brentford. Yeah, me and Jez and everybody else are doing it on every match day watching on telly. We're on Kai watch. Yeah, we're on 29 watch, mate. We're just looking, going, right, cool. What's he doing off the ball then? So now just watch him. Yeah, I'm don't watch the ball. Just watch him. And he literally gets in these spaces. So you have 2 players and he'll go and run in between both of them. If he takes a poor touch, straight away they're at our back 4. Yeah, by which time 35's already in midfield. Yeah, so now it's our back 3. Yeah. And it's come on, man. Then he gets in between 4 and he drops in between the lines. Yeah, that's cool if you've got a great first touch. Yeah, dropping between the lines between the centre-halves and the midfielders, spin and go. You have to be on the half turn, ready to get the ball and go. He's always so slow, man. Yeah, and so rigid. Yeah, and he never does a give and go. We've seen it with Martinelli so many times this season. Martinelli's going for the give and go and he just passed it out of play. It's come on, mate, show me something. You put him up front, you don't win many headers. Yeah, you put him on the wing, he don't do nothing. Yeah, then he'll trot from left wing to right wing. He'll run around or jog around in a circle. It's how many more games, man? Yeah, I think we're massively missing Jesus. And I think if Jesus had been in this team fully fit, like he was at times last season, and we see a good Jesus before he got injured, I think we'd be top of the league. Yeah, I genuinely think we'd be top of the league. If he weren't playing and Jesus was playing, or if Partey was in that team as well, and he weren't playing even without Jesus, I think we'd be top. And I think we'd be top quite comfortably as well, because I think we would probably won all of our games. Yeah, if we had Thomas Partey against Tottenham, he ain't getting tackled by Maddison. Yeah, like Jorginho did. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, listen, we can sit and pick the bones out of it all we like. The fact is, he's in our team, and it don't look like he's not getting. It don't look like he's getting dropped anytime soon.
He's playing against Brentford without that. The team that played against Sevilla and Burnley, barring injuries, with probably the exception of probably Benjamin White. For Zinchenko, that team's playing. There's Raya. One thing as well. Forgot Raya. All right, you say it's only Burnley and blah blah, but it's one thing you can't knock about Raya. When he was called on, he was had the one-on-ones. He made some really good saves. I know a lot of Arsenal fans who like Ramsdale are going to say it's his job. Respect to that, but you just have to. Oh God, don't. I saw that. I remember that. Oh Jesus! I got to the ground, and sorry, Victor, why'd you do that? Eh?
He knew it'd rattle you.
we all had this sort of emotional euphoria of the Spurs Wolves game. I get in, and he's right. Before kickoff, 10 minutes before kickoff, they just had a piano version of North London Forever. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was thinking, like, is this why they're having that for? And I realised there was no time for North London Forever. It's because they were having the, tribute towards our fallen war heroes from yesteryear. So there wasn't enough time for that garbage. But yes, I do remember that.
No, to be fair, we're there. We're still up there. We've got a few injured players. Yeah. Before we do wrap this up, we're going to go for about another 15 minutes or so, if you two are cool with that.
Yes.
Henry Wright TV is apparently still stuck at work. I reckon he's bottling it like his football club do every year. Apparently he's still stuck at work. Yeah, how convenient. But it is what it is. Let's talk about some of these injured players, and let's talk about Douglas Luiz as well, because Jez, let's start with the injured players, and then we'll come back to Douglas Luiz, who we're linked to as well at Villa. Injured players. Ben White, apparently he was ill. That's what somebody said, that Match of the Day said, but I haven't seen anything. I can't lie. No. Maybe he was ill. I don't know. Yeah, but listen, it didn't matter. We won the game anyway. Thomas Partey has played 13 minutes of football in our last 12 games. Yeah, and now he's apparently out injured until the new year. Weird, very weird. Yeah, Timber, as we know, first day of the season, injured, done an ACL. That's him out until Christmas, New Year, I suppose, as well. JEZ'S is apparently out until December, New Year as well. Right, and I think that when we signed that Timber lad, I think he was going to replace Zinchenko. I've said his name again. Yeah.
Do you think so, though, Lee?
Because he was going to replace him.
His position is right back, stroke centre half.
He's miles better defensively. And he's as good on the ball, if not better. Yeah, although I do like 35 in midfield. 35 at the weekend, I thought that was one of his best games for Arsenal. But again, that's because the team weren't coming out, and he was playing at number 10. He was popping them, and his short passing game, is brilliant. He was finding little outside of the boot passes to Declan Rice, to Martinelli, to Trossard. Yeah, and I don't mind him in midfield, but I don't like him at left back. And I think Timber was brought in to play at left back, and that's totally ruined Arteta's plans this season. Yeah, but without Thomas Partey in that team, or without JEZ'S in that team, if we're going to keep going with 29 and our current captain, by the way, in Jorginho, I'm not quite sure why he's got the armband, but there we go. If we keep playing with them two, eventually the wheels are falling off, I reckon, Jez. What do you reckon?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I'd still ask the question, and I was chatting this up yesterday afternoon, funny enough, and I said, what do these people actually bring to the squad? Nothing. And we all agreed. There was not one person, and there was probably 40 people there yesterday afternoon, all Arsenal fans, of different ages. There's people older than me, been going longer than me, and I was saying to them, what do you think these people bring? And they were going, nothing. But we are struggling through it. Now, if we get JEZ'S back in the new year, if we get Partey back in the new year, great. If we get Timber back, I'm not so convinced on that one because ACLs can take a long time to heal, take a long, long time. And I'd much rather that young man gets fully fit than he's rushed back and does more damage because that's just going to make him weaker. You know, I mean, we've lost Vieira for 3 games. Oh dear. Stupid to tackle. But anyway, that's a separate issue.
And Odegaard as well. Now, look, what's happened with Odegaard? Like,
he's injured. I mean, isn't he injured or something?
Yeah, what's happened?
I don't know. In training, apparently. Lastly, I saw how true this is. Thigh injury. Don't know. Dead leg, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. But we are scraping through it. But we always know. We know this, don't we? From history, right? Even in the Wenger days. Arsenal after Christmas, after they've eaten a loads of turkey and Christmas pudding, we drop off. And I always say the most difficult time of the year is after Christmas. It's the worst weather from January to the end of February. Yeah. It's horrible. It's wet. It's cold. But the fact is, that's when we're going to need our top boys out there. And I can't say I'm happy to see number 35 and number 29. I'm learning from you on this one now. I'm not naming names.
I'm not saying their names. I can't stand them, mate. Honestly, mate. We've seen some unbelievably crap footballers at our football clubs at times, yeah? Right? Yeah. But listen, let me just say one thing here as well, because there's going to be people going, oh, why are you all moaning? Like, we're not moaning. Yeah, the fact is, we've seen some great footballers and we've seen some crap at our football club in our lifetimes, yeah? Right? And fair play, we're right up at the top of the table at the moment. But having seen us top of the league for nearly all of it last season, I'm not getting carried away like I did at certain points last season. Yeah, after that Man United game where Eddie scored that goal at the end and we won 3-2, I was like, wow, we're going to win the league here. And even I got sucked in. Yeah, I think everyone got, but we were enjoying watching good football. And I think this season, and big up Carefree Luiz as well for sending all of his followers over as well. Big up Luiz, bro. Always love my friend. Big up to Carefree Luiz, man. Thank you very much, my guy. And but yeah, I think that this season we're looking at the football. Big up Luiz, man. I see you in the chat. Love for that, buddy. But I think we're looking at the football this season and we're looking at it thinking like, why? Yeah, fair enough. We've got injuries, but everyone's got injuries. Tottenham have got injuries. Man City have got injuries. Yeah, Man City have got an injury. It's one of the best players in the league. Yeah, and he's been out since day one. He got injured after 20 minutes in the first game, like Timber did. You know, Liverpool got injuries. Everyone's got injuries. Chelsea have got mad injuries. Yeah, but it's like, I'm looking at it thinking we can still play the same way. We can still play the same way as we did last season. What are we changing our style for? It makes no sense to me. And I think, you know, the fact that we've been playing with 10 men for most of the season, yeah, fair play. Pat him on the back. We're up at the top after 12 games. I don't care where we are after 12 games, really. It's after 38 games. And after 38 games last season, we finished second. So even if we've bridged the gap, even if we've got injuries, even if we go and buy players in January, even if other teams have injuries, I am not getting carried away. I'm going to sit and give a proper assessment on what I witness every week. The same as you guys will, and the same as the chat as well. And even if, and I said this earlier to Lewis, the City fan, big up LB, I said, even if we are 4 points clear, we're free to play, I ain't thinking we're winning the title. Yeah, because I've seen us get stung the season before last by Spurs. So, you know, we need to get over the line. And the only way you get over the line, yeah, is by doing what's required and hoping for the best. Yeah, do what's required and hope the City, yeah, who are now top, apparently we've bridged the gap. Well, they're still better than us. They're still top. They've still got the best player in the league out missing, or one of them. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, we can cry about injuries all we like. Yeah, the fact is, we should have done more in the transfer window. And if we don't win the league, that will come back to the manager, to the board, and to Edu. Yeah, and to the ownership. Because that January transfer window is crucial now. And the reason it's crucial is because we didn't do what was required in the summer one. Yeah, but by signing a couple of players, getting everyone hyped real quick with Declan Rice, took away from the rest of that window, really. Let's be real with it. And we need to go out there now Yeah, and we need to go and make a statement. Same with Liverpool. They need to make a statement because they'll still be in and around it at the end of December. And it's who has the best window now. City need a midfielder.
But Lee, the rumour is rounds. I saw it on Facebook today that Mbappe wants to come to Arsenal.
What, does he want to watch a game?
Well, who are these clowns that make this up? He's apparently happy to give away £89 million in bonuses to come. I mean,
can you imagine Arteta trying to manage him?
Well, yeah, exactly.
He couldn't even manage a Aubameyang, mate.
That's my exact point. There's no way. The only thing Arteta can do is manage the kids because they won't stand up to him. And we know it from past history, as you quite rightly just said, Aubameyang, Ozil, those type of players, he cannot handle their personalities. Because before season, they know what they want, and they'll stand up and they'll say, "Don't agree with you, boss." And then I'll go and train down the road at the leisure centre. Don't want you here at Colby.
Yeah.
You know, you don't play with us, then you go away. I mean, it's pathetic, man, really, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
What do you make of it, Kenny?
Well, first and foremost, you know, what you said about the situation in January, self-explanatory. You know, even when apparently we didn't really need to sign anyone, we still need to sign players. This season, it's just we've got injuries. We don't know what's happened with Thomas Partey. If it, you know, very few fans.
I don't think he's injured.
Well, that's what I was going to get to that. I don't. Who might say that he's injured? But if you know, a club of you've got the party line to say he's injured. I don't think that it's as bad as everyone thinks. I still think there's a falling out. I think there's frustration with Thomas, and so should be. You know, he should be frustrated with his manager because he started him off in at right back, and he should be frustrated with the whole, you know, the whole Declan Rice situation. Because I say it respectfully, as good as Declan Rice is, for some pork chops in the fan base to say that he's upgrading Partey, it's nothing short of insulting, really. Because don't get me wrong, he's not on Partey's level. Because if he was on Partey's level, we sure weren't saying that last season when Declan Rice was at West Ham playing in the Conference League and Thomas Partey was donning it up. We were comparing Thomas Partey with, or saying Thomas Partey is the best. I wasn't comparing Thomas Partey. I said Thomas Partey is the best player in the league. I still stand. I said that. So what
he's our most important player, or was last season. Yeah, he was our most important player. He's still our most important player now. We're finished.
He's still our most important player now. You know. The fact is, we're just getting by. We're getting by, but you know, as you said before, in January you do have to strengthen up because this squad is threadbare. Because you know we're gonna be playing some form of European football. I'm sure we get a point against Lens. It's going to be the Champions League. And then we're going to play better teams. And then what will happen? We're going to, from February onwards, end of February, March, it's going to be back to 2 games a week. We are going to need better players. Better players. We're going to need a bigger squad. We are going to have to look at the situation. Can we afford to be without JEZ'S that long? We may have to go with a striker. But, you know, midfield's definitely an area we've got to look at. And, you know, strikers is something we've got to look at as well. So, that's where you know, I'll be looking in terms of like the games we got after the international break. Mentioned Brentford, then we've got Lens. Remember they turned us over in northern France, and then we got Wolves. It's very tricky because, in all intents and purposes, they deserve a lot more points than what they got already, and they're going to go and have a go, and they think that they're going to cut the win. They're not going to cut the contain. So that's going to be an hard game. And then after Wolves, you've got Aston Villa. Villa Park. We've won twice in the last 2 years.
We're the last team to beat them at their ground.
But the thing about it, Lee, we struggled to win those. Yeah, they played really well in both those games they're playing against us. So again, that's going to be a battle. And remember, in those games which we won, we had Thomas Partey and Odegaard donning it. Now, we're not going to have Thomas Partey. We're not going to have Odegaard. Odegaard's another thing. No one's talking. I don't know what situation with Odegaard.
Yeah, that's a weird one as well. Very weird, man.
But if it's a thigh injury, you ain't seen Odegaard till the new year either. You're not going to see him.
It's a bit weird that like he came on against West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, well, if he comes on, and that was the night that we threw ourselves out the cup, and we threw on Saka, Martinelli, and him. And it was like, why don't you just start them? Like, he threw Rice on as well. It's like, why don't you just start these players, mate? We would have won the game in the next round.
You know
how can you not deal with 3 more extra games to get to Wembley in a 3-month period? That shows we ain't got a fixed squad that everyone keeps telling me.
I think the Odegaard situation, I don't know whether he must have been overruled by the medical men with Odegaard, or Odegaard's got to him and said, mate, I can't do this no more. My performance levels are going down. I've got an injury. I need to get it sorted, or I'm going to be out for a long, long time because, Odegaard's his captain yet. So something's going on there. Thomas Partey, we're suspicious of that. Timber.
I think we'll bin him. I think he's gone, mate. I think Partey's finished at this club.
Thomas Partey will probably want to go to like Italian football where he knows he's going to start week in, week out. Pogba's gone now, hasn't he? Pogba's failed. Plus, he's had loads of injuries, so there's a vacancy there. But again, if you're going to sell Thomas Partey, make sure you get someone as good as Thomas Partey alongside Declan Rice. Don't just think Declan Rice is the answer without Thomas Partey, because you're going to be in for a shock. And it's going to be a shock that is going to be so painful that even the normal electric shock is going to be like child's play. Because trust me, if we're relying on Declan Rice and Declan Rice only, trust me, we're going to be out in the last 16 and we're probably going to be finished well outside the championship tables. We'll probably get fourth. That's how important our midfield is to us, because eventually, second half of the season, where the better teams, the Liverpools, even Chelsea, I wouldn't say Man United, but Tottenham, Man City, all the, maybe Villa as well, we're going to struggle because our last 2 away games at the end of the season are Tottenham on the 27th and then Man United next. Now, there's no way Man United are going to just sit there and let us take the mickey at Old Trafford, especially if we're going to win the title. They're going to be doing that.
Their best performance of the season was against us at the Emirates. Yeah, Chelsea's best performance of the season, well, you could say yesterday maybe now, but before yesterday was against us at Stamford Bridge.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tottenham's best performance of the season as well.
And Spurs. Yeah, let's not forget Spurs as well. Spurs on the sort of 27th of April, if they think we got an inkling of getting that title, they're going to stop us. Remember 13 years ago when we were outside challengers for the title in 2010?
No, was that Yunus Kabul, yeah.
No, not Yunus Kabul. It was, when Danny Rose scored that volley.
That screamer, yeah.
When we're only about 2 points behind Man United and Chelsea, somehow we found ourselves. Remember, we beat Wolves in the last minute. Bentner got the winner, and then we played Tottenham a few days later. And then, for some reason, we found ourselves challenging the title. Spurs played the game of their lives under Harry Redknapp, and they turn it around and turn us over 2-1. That's going to be now that Spurs side. I don't know where they're going to be. If they get all their players fit, they could be going for the top 4 themselves. Or they could just
again another January window that Daniel Levy or somehow they go from there.
Somehow they could be challenged. I don't know, but one thing is, we're not going to have an easy game like we had last season at their ground. So we're going to need a top midfield to go to those kind of games. It's going to be the away games where there's something on it where our midfield won't be able.
And that's the thing as well. Sorry to cut you off, Kenny. Yeah, I know I keep cutting you off. Sorry, mate. Yeah, we've played a lot of the big 6 teams, or the better teams in this league, and most of them we've played at home. Like Man United at home, we've played City at home, we've played Spurs at home, Chelsea away. We ain't played Liverpool yet. Yeah, played Newcastle away. Cool. But if you actually go through them games, Newcastle we beat away last season. Yeah, well, we lost this year. Man United, we beat at home last season. Well, we beat again. Chelsea away, we beat last season. Well, we drew this season. Tottenham at home, we beat them last season. Well, we drew this season. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's Man City, fair enough. We got to win this season, so we're 3 points. Yeah, but then Everton, Everton away last season we lost, and this year we beat them. But then Fulham last year we beat them at home, and it's been weird, and it's like we're still there or thereabouts. I looked earlier when I was on with LB, right, and we have conceded 3 goals less than we had at this stage last season, but we've scored 3 goals less And we have currently got, what's the league table saying? 1 second. We have currently got 3 points less than we had this time last season. Man City have got 1 point less. They've scored 8 goals less, and they've conceded 1 goal less, albeit 4 of them, but either way. So it's been a weird season so far. Yeah, it's been very weird. Tottenham, despite losing their last 2 games, have got 3 points more than they had this time last season. Yeah, so it's like, and Chelsea were 5th, I think, at this time last season. They're currently now down in what? Where are Chelsea? 10th.
Yeah, but like, I think about it, the how do I say it? The cream will come to the top in terms of after New Year's Eve, where we have those big bunch of fixtures where teams are playing consecutive games. You're going to see how much depth these squads have, because teams will pull away, and hopefully we'll be in that bracket. But we've got some really, Villa at home, Villa away, Brighton at home, Liverpool away, West Ham. You don't know what West Ham's going to turn up. Fulham away, you don't know what Fulham away is going to turn up. But if we get maximum points out of those games, we might as well get the Christmas decorations up all year, because I think we could be on for a title challenge.
But again, it comes back to the board. We have to sign players. Yeah, definitely. But we have to sign players. Listen, Man City, Liverpool, everyone's been saying all season, their attack's amazing, even before the season started and the transfer window ended, or when the transfer window ended. Defensively, they're not great, but offensively, they're unreal. Well, they've conceded the same amount of goals as us. Yeah, and they've scored 1 goal more than us. So, whilst they've got a great offense, they've only scored 1 goal more than us, and we've been slamming it with Eddie up front. Yeah, and they've got Salah, Jota, Diaz, Gakpo, Nunes, and we've got Martinelli, Saka, but they're not in great form. Yes, they're nicking, or not Martinelli, but Saka's nicking goals. Yeah, nicking goals here and there. Yeah, Trossard as well here and there, but none of our strikers have really gone boom. Yeah, like Mohamed Salah, go and have a look how many goals he scored this season. Go and have a look at Liverpool's front line. They've pretty much scored every one of their goals this season, whereas we're more chipping in everywhere.
We ain't got any strikers.
No.
Well, no, one's out. Well, big up Hendon Guna in the chat as well. He said that, and this is weird, he said that Gabi Jesus has been called up for the Brazil national team.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that he's
injured.
Yes, well, they call him up because Brazil, all right, ain't going 2 great guns in their qualifying tournament games. I think they've drawn the last 2 games. I can remember they drew with Colombia and they lost to Uruguay, and they just like Partey, like Chris Hughton wanted to have a look at Partey's injury. I think Brazil are going to have the same situation with JEZ'S, because they, regardless,
they've got Colombia and then they've got Argentina. They're the next 2 games over this international.
Yeah, so they're going to want to have a look at him, and if they're satisfied that he's injured, they'll send him back anyway. But with those big games coming up, that
pisses me off, Kenny. It's like, fair enough they call him up, but they should go on what the club says. The club paid this guy's wages. Why fly him all the way out to Colombia? Yeah,
players
actually, no, you are injured. Yeah, you can go home now. Or is he just doing card tricks and what's he do? Card tricks. He's good to have around the dressing room.
Look at England though. In England, there. Look at the team of England.
It's embarrassing.
Look what Southgate said about Reece James. He had no right saying that, but he's now saying out that Reece James' place in the tournament in Germany is going to be in jeopardy. Now,
Calvin Phillips gets a game every week, but he can't play for City at all.
But that's the situation with international football now. England's now like Brazil. Doesn't matter how much your clubs pay you. Brazilian players always want to go on international duty because they know to get in that Brazil side, it's going to be hard. If you go out and someone plays well, you don't get your place back. It's like Argentina, it's like France now, and England's getting like that as well. The days of club before country is over, mate. It's over, especially with England with the amount of players that are coming through. I mean, all the player nowadays it's basically have to take a good call and they get called up for England. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Right. We're blessed with talent these days in virtually every position. We're set for goalkeeper. right backs, we've got loads of players coming through, defence, midfield, and even support strikers for Harry Kane. You know, it's a good time for an England manager. The only problem England have got is, well, they've got two problems. One's called Gareth and the other one's called Southgate.
Thanks. Before we wrap this up, Henry Wright is on his way home. So he's contemplating life, bless him. He's got a 50-minute drive home. We will be going live on his channel, 7 p.m. UK time. Make sure there's 520 people in here. First and foremost, smash the like button, because we ain't even at 300 likes. Do I have to get the slipper out?
Yeah.
Smash the likes. There we go. Pay your rent. Make sure you are subbing to the channel. Make sure you sub to JEZ'S channel, Arsenal History and More. Link in the description. Make sure you follow KennyKen1972 on Instagram. And the pinned comment, my friend Connor and his missus have set up a channel, and they are currently on 192 subs. Let's get that to 200 real quick. 8 people sub to that. My man's eating scorpions. He's eating like weird stuff like grasshoppers, maggots. Yeah, he's around Thailand at the minute with his missus vlogging, but it's a travel vlogging channel, yeah? He was in Dubai, like doing a bit of sand surfing and all of that. Like, go and check the channel out. They've only just started it, and he's one of my best pals. So come on, let's get him up to 1,000 subs, people.
I'll sub to him.
Big up JEZ'S, man. Big up to everybody who has as well. He was on 14 subs on Friday. He's on 192 now. So big up this community. But before we do wrap this up, I'm going to let you two waffle about Douglas Luiz. We put a deadline day bid, 3 bids in for him that was swiftly rejected in January. Our fans were in meltdown. Why do we want Douglas Luiz? But now all of a sudden, it's now fashionable to want Douglas Luiz. Oh, I wonder why. Is that because a decent manager's getting a tune out of him? And on that bombshell...
hang on, Lee, before you go to the toilet, a certain person who we knew, it keeps on referencing that Emery, how's Emery a decent manager? His words were, he coached us to conceding 30 shots and goal against Watford.
That's all they ever come out with, 30 shots against Watford.
Yeah, we know it is. We know who the guy is, because he's one of those people who tries to curry favour with everyone, because he wants a foot in every camp, and unfortunately, every time he tries to put the foot in someone's front door, they basically kick his shins and shut the door in him. That's life, eh?
All right, very quickly, before we go on that Douglas Luiz thing, Kenny, you go to the games at home. Have you noticed how different the Emirates atmosphere is? Whoever's idea it was to bring the ballot system in, there's clearly never been a regular match day.
Let me tell you something now. I think last season was...
I'm going to let you waffle on that and then talk about Douglas Luiz after 2 minutes.
Like the atmosphere at games. Look, let me tell you, the thing about Arsenal now these days, right, is that, Jez, we've discussed this privately. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Arsenal fans who were desperate to, like I said, stop a certain participants from a fan cam going to games home and away. So they kept on moaning about, oh, why is he at a game? How comes they get tickets? And they went online and did it, and they added Arsenal. So by doing that, what they've done is that they've not just every time you go for your intended target, you always miss your target and hit someone else. You always get it's like me being a soldier, and I'm going to go into battle, and then innocent people get caught with the friendly fire. That's what's happened to our fans. Some decent people can't get tickets because all those idiots on Twitter ruined it and moaned. Like, for instance, the Ashburton Army. Last couple of seasons, they've been getting tickets left, right, and centre. Now they can't get tickets because it's all through a ballot system, because everyone said it wasn't fair. It was working perfectly. But because certain people decided to act like they're custodians of our football club, because they wanted to stop certain fans so they didn't like the look of getting tickets, they go and ruin it for everyone else. I can tell you now, if you go to an away game, certain faces I used to see at away games, I don't see them no more.
No.
Now, you and I know a lot of people go away games are the sort of people who heavily reliant on season ticket holders, sharing their memberships with other fans and to get their credits up. So what will happen is that we all help each other out with away tickets. We can't do that no more. of home tickets. We used to help each other out now. We can't do it unless someone's a member. We can't help them out. So thanks very much for all those people who ruined it for all those fans who haven't got the money or they haven't got the time to go to every game. They can't get a game. Another thing as well is that the reason why the atmosphere is so bad is because, not too funny, there's a lot of fans. You know what I called the 1 year a game lot? Like they ruin the atmosphere at grounds by mentioning Tottenham all the time. What do you think of Tottenham? Thank you. That's all right. Really?
Yeah.
That's so boring. I mean, I remember the 80s.
They're apparently so irrelevant. Why do you even sing about them then?
Yeah, but even so, they are relevant because they're my roles. But come on, every game. I mean, come on. This ain't the 80s when we were going hot down here, the Arsenal scene, the Tottenham runaway. This is so boring and average. So that ruins the atmosphere a lot. But Burnley, we saw a lot of empty seats in that during that game. Yeah, hang on here. Fans can't get tickets. So what's going on here? You know, if you can't go to the game, and your brother or sister isn't a member, get your brother and sister to become a member so you can transfer over to them, or
even that system's hard work. That system's mad hard work. Jay and his dad, when they're switching their season ticket, that is hard work, mate. Yeah, they were telling me it's long. They don't want them there.
It's a long process, but it's
probably sell it on to someone else.
Yeah, but you know what's happened as well is that sometimes, a lot of the times when fans are transferring tickets to the club aren't transferring it back to fans. What they're doing is they're keeping the ticket.
Yep.
And giving you the credit because you're giving it to the club. It doesn't mean that the club are filling the tickets because the club are very sly like this. They're very clever. They'll rather they have the tickets, no one else attends, rather than getting handed tats.
Yeah. Facts.
Can I say, Kenny? I met up with some old friends yesterday. People older than me. People in their 70s.
64th wedding anniversary, wasn't it, Jez?
Yeah, got that right, didn't I? But I think probably 70 out of the 75% of the people I chatted to don't go anymore because one of the biggest reasons was they can't stand the way the clubs run and they can't stand the fan base. And there's guys there, you know, who are in their 18, 19, 20s that some go, some don't. And I said to them, well, what do you get out of it? In the fact that, well, it's Arsenal, and my dad supported them and all this and all that. Yeah, great. And I get it. And I said, but you've never experienced how it was, and I respect that because you're not old enough, and I get it. But there's a lot of people there who've been going a lot longer than me. You know, been going since like 62, 63. And I was born in 1961. And they don't go anymore. And they live literally round the corner. Yeah, a 5-10 minute walk, 15-minute walk. But they just don't like the atmosphere. They don't like the setup. They don't like the fan base. And a couple of people I spoke to about certain channels, where a lot of the people 60 plus didn't know what I was talking about, to be fair. I get that, that's fair play. I get it.
Like, what's YouTube?
As one fella said, he said, what is YouTube? I went, don't worry about it. It's not. It doesn't matter. But this is, I think, a problem, as a lot of the old uns have walked away and have allowed, quite probably rightly, that people come in to replace them. That's life. But the whole direction of the club, in my belief, is going down the wrong road. As Kenny's just explained in great depth. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just a shit show myself, I have to say. I'm going to have to go in a minute, guys, because I'm going to.
That's right. We'll wrap this up very quickly on Douglas Luiz. Would you take him, Jez? Yeah,
I would actually. I think he's all right. I think he's actually a better improvement than some of the crap we got. Be fair with you, but look, guys, come on, we've got Mbappe coming in bloody January.
I might do a video on that. Yeah, if it's out in the
Anyway,
media,
isn't that a 6th year we've been linked with Mbappe? Like,
yeah,
when he was
Wenger
at
went to his
Monaco.
house with Gazidis and that, didn't he? Do you know?
You know what I mean?
Load of crap.
Look, our worries are over, man. We got Mbappe coming. You know, it's no.
Hey,
no
I'll
worries.
tell you
What
what,
does
I'll
that
tell you
do
one
for
thing.
Martinelli's? What does that do for Martinelli's like future? Like, obviously, that's going to
Do you
hinder.
care? Do you care if you get Mbappe?
No. But this is what our fans will be saying. Yeah, but if we get Mbappe, yeah, look at when Cesc was linked to wanted to come back. Yeah, we can't now. We got Ramsey and we got Mesut. Yeah, it hindered their progress. Yeah, well, okay, cool. What about Martinelli then?
Lee, come on, Lee. You're buying Cess's lies. Cess was never coming back to us. Mourinho already went out at Barcelona to court him. It was a token gesture. He chose Chelsea. His first choice was Chelsea. His second choice was Chelsea. His third choice was Chelsea. His fourth choice was Chelsea.
He made some good career choices. Everything.
Yeah, and why would he come to us when he's won 2 titles at Chelsea and he's been the main man in virtually those? Him and
Costa.
Was it Diego Costa were the main men, and Hazard, all 3 of them smashed it.
Yeah, man. We are going to wrap this up, people. Jez has got to go. I need to go. I need to eat. Henry Wright TV is going to redirect you there. The show's going to start in about 40 minutes, 42 minutes from now. Make sure you are.
Say hello to Henry. Say hello to Henry.
Henry's going to need medical assistance tonight, my friends.
Can you tell Henry for me? I loved his fan cam after the Chelsea game, and he looked absolutely freezing, and his face was like thunder.
After the Chelsea game, he put out "Proud of the boys." Proud of losing 4-1. Good one. Now he's got to sit in an Arsenal shirt doing the 1-chip challenge. So yeah, 40 minutes from now.
Lee, if anyone asked me to do something a Spurs shirt, I said, mate, you might as well. You can have my year's wages. I'm not putting a Spurs shirt on for nothing.
Oh no, chance. He's got to do it in an Arsenal shirt as well. What a wrong. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway,
you must love money more than Spurs did.
I'll say that to him. But anyway, we are going to wrap up, people. Jez, appreciate it as always, mate. What you got coming up on your channel, mate? Arsenal history and more, people. Link in description.
Got you, gentlemen, on tomorrow evening. Then Wednesday night, I've gone joining the weekly chat with Kenny Ken and the Yeti. And then Thursday night, part 2 of Home and Aways with the Yeti. He's going to talk about his experiences at. He's got some good stories, actually. He's actually got some we were chatting about it last night. He's got some proper stories. And yeah, I mean, I like the Yeti. He's a fun guy. And says it as it is, being where he is. But yeah, they're great. I'm 3 great shows this week. So come and watch them, people. Show some support.
Arsenal history and more, people. Make sure you are subbing. Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. You literally smash it with some of your videos, man. I love your pre-match, your after game. Yeah, I love it when there's breaking news. Yeah. Like, love it. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken.
You know what? Watch out for January. There's not going to be much this week, but I am going to be joining Jez on a couple of shows. The thing about there's only 2 things wrong with long-haired Yeti, and I'll tell you, those 2. He never stops going on about winning the European Cup twice, and that's not winning it.
I know.
I mean, he basically can win an argument with us. It doesn't matter how many
European Cups. How many he's got?
All he's got to do is point to those 2 stars on his heart, and that's it. You can't argue with it. You know, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Liverpool have won, and Celtic have won Champions Leagues, and we haven't won one. How embarrassing!
Bucharest have won one. It's a Steaua Bucharest have won one, Kenny. Yeah.
I'll talk about Man City. Man City and Aston Villa have been relegated. How many times they've been relegated in the last couple of years? But they won the Champions League before us. Man City were in the 3rd division. They won the Champions League. Man United, bloody hell, won it 3 times. Liverpool can't stop winning it. Won it 6 times. And bloody hell. It's hard to take. It's hard to live with.
Yeah,
it is. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, man. If only Henry had scored them chances he had, eh?
And we had been cheated. We were cheated. I don't care.
We were cheated in that game.
The goal should have stood, man. Yeah, the goal should have stood and keep laming on the pitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Julie. I was in Paris when Julie ran off celebrating. I thought I would take 1-0 and said, let's go for it.
11 versus 11. We would batter them, mate. We'd done them with 10 men. Sol Campbell scored. We were doing them well. But then we just run out of steam. And Wenger's subs in that game, taking off Pires.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
And who else did he take off? Who was the other sub?
Can't remember now.
No, he brought an Almunia for Lehman. He brought Almunia for
as well, didn't he? Was it Seski took off?
I think so towards the end, but
yeah, he took Seski off and he took Pires off. Yeah, come on, man. Sorry, mate.
Did you see that midfield we had? Despite the fact Barcelona had a world-class team, we had Kleb, Pires, Fabregas, and Freddie. We had and we had Henri smashing it. Ashley Cole played as left back.
First game he played as well. We should have kept Flamini at left back.
Hey, remember Tony Adams? Tony Adams wanted. Can you remember Tony Adams wanted us to play Senderos instead of Sol Campbell? Tony, you got that. That was a bit of a pork chop moment, Tony.
Right. We are going to wrap this up, guys. I'm live with Henry in 37 minutes. Make sure you tune in. Yeah, go and smash a like on it. Just smash the fire emoji and the skull emoji. There's not a nappy emoji. Yeah, but it's a shame. Yeah, but he is going to be on fire. Trust me. And that show is going to be lit.
There is the smiley shit one.
Oh, yeah. Put that one on. Yeah. I think if you type in poo, P-O-O, it comes up with that emoji. Yeah, so type that in as well. And I'm going to go and eat my pizza. He's going to be eating a hot chip in an Arsenal shirt. And then I'm going to drop a video after that on the second channel. Just keep your eyes peeled for that. Tomorrow I'm on with Rants on here at 2:30 UK. I'm on with Terry at 3:30. And then I'm on with JEZ'S, 6 p.m. innit?
I can't remember.
Was it 8 p.m.? 8 p.m.
It was a late one. It was a late one. 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. So yeah.
Matty, Southern Goons joining us as well.
Yeah, happy days. So yeah, 2:30, 3:30, 8 p.m. And I'll have a video out tomorrow on the second channel as well. But for now, we're out of here. It's been a good show. Big up to everyone inside. Big up to everyone who donated as well. And we're out of here, people. We're out of here. Laters. Adios.
International football's brilliant.